Great joy this morning to welcome you all here at Kasisi Agriculture Training Center. We have come here together for the joyful celebration of our second-born graduates. So as we are celebrating this, it is with pleasure that I greet the representative of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Art, the representative of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of General Education, of the Ministry of Agriculture, and of the Ministry of Green Economy. I am happy to have the representative of Lusaka province, the province permanent secretary, all majors and town clerks present, the senior government officials. I welcome also our guest of honor, the provincial of the Society of Jesus, Father Leonard Chiti, the representative Vice Chancellor of the University of Zambia, and then all the representatives of the University of Zambia. I am also acknowledging the presence of the principal officers of other Zambian universities and colleges, the heads of units of Kasisi Agriculture Training Centers, the lecturers of the program, the present and non-present sponsors of this program, the members of the press. Let me say, dear all invited guests, and especially also you graduates for whom we have gathered today. You are the reason of our joy that we have come to celebrate today. Let me confer to you my congratulations for the achievement of being graduates in this program. You have worked hard during the last 2 years to come to this point today. And this day is only the summit of a long journey. It is also not the end of the journey, but the beginning of another one. So when we are going out in the agricultural world today, we are hearing very often in the discussions that we have to treat farming as a business. And very often there is also the promise given, you can make big money going into farming. So let me reply to this, yes, but it is a yes. Farming has to be a business because we farmers, we need to be able to account for what we are doing. We need to count to see that what we are doing makes financially sense. And also farming is about gaining our livelihoods, contributing to the growth of the nation. But let me also add the but. We have to see that we are not falling in the trap to make farming in the logic of extraction, where we are trying to get as much out as possible, not looking what are the resources we are working with. Agroecology is an alternative to this logic of extraction. And we have to be very clear on this. It is not just greenwashing, what the big commercial farming tries to do. Agroecology is more, it is a holistic approach. It is about caring for the land so that it cares also for you. The land, even if you have a title for it, it is not yours. It has been given to you by God and by the government and by the people, so that you use it for the benefit of everybody, of the nation. It is very much about taking responsibility, not only for the land, but also for the nature we are living in, for the community, but in the end also taking responsibility for ourselves. Reflecting on what it means to take responsibility, I was thrown back to a story that I read many years ago, which is about responsibility. Father Dondo and myself, we had the opportunity to study in France, and that is the first time where I met Father Dondo. We both did not know that we will end up one day here in Kasisi in Zambia. But that's the first time they told me there is another Jesuit who has done agriculture, you should go and see him. So this story is written by a French guy, and he was a pioneer in several ways. I have spoken last year about the topic of pioneers, so I will not remain too much about this. But Mr. Saint-Exupéry, he was a pilot in the time when the flying became more and more reliable. And he was a post transporter who was traveling between Europe and Africa to transport the post. And beyond this, being a pioneer of the air, he also wrote very deep stories. And one of these stories is about the little prince. So this prince, he lives on a planet, and there is a rose flower. He is caring very much for it, but this rose flower makes him a lot of problems. It is very proud. And so he decides to leave the planet, and he is traveling, and at one moment he reaches the earth. And on this earth, he is meeting a fox, and as they are meeting, they do not really know what to do with each other. A little prince and a fox, what can they do with each other? So they are very strange. And then the fox, he tells to the small prince, "Tame me." And the little prince, he does not understand what does it mean to tame somebody. So he's asking the fox. And the fox is responding him, "As long as we are strangers, you are for me just a little prince among millions. And I am for you just a fox among other millions. We do not really care for each other. We do not need each other. But when you tame me, we are going to know each other and we need each other. We are going to be responsible for each other." And then, asking on, the little prince asked, "But what do we need to do to tame each other?" And the fox says, "We have to establish rituals. Every day we have to meet at a certain time, at a certain place, so that we get used to each other." And so over time, they get to know each other in the depths of their heart. And as the moment of farewell is coming, the fox tells him, "I will carry you always in my heart." That is what it means to have tamed somebody. Even so it is sad, but you will be always with me. You see, this taming is in the logic of relation and not of dominating each other. It's knowing and accepting each other. And I think from this story we can learn a lot about some aspects about agroecology. There is this dimension of relation. So everything in nature is related to each other. When we are doing agroecology, it is not just about applying fertilizer, applying pesticides, but it's to know the relations that are between all the creatures and even the soil that is there. And knowing these things and observing them more and more, you can take the right decisions. How to grow your farming system, how to make it really productive. Because things are not working against each other, but with each other. So when you are going out as agroecologists, you are called to grow in familiarity with all these things that are around you. You are exploring how they are connected. And let me tell you this, that's a never-ending story. You have started to learn something during the diploma program, but as a farmer you always continue to learn up to the end of your life. No season will be the same, but these relations, they are every year there in another way. And you are going to learn about it and to make them useful for you. So I'm very much impressed actually when we are looking at the soil. You have learned about all the microbial community which is there. Already on the soil level we are seeing these relations that are there, how every living being in the soil is linked to each other. We are calling it the soil food web. And this is going through all the levels. I mean, we are living in very exciting times. Some 50 years ago, we were barely knowing anything about the richness of these microorganisms in the soil. But now with the new technologies, we explore this more and more. And even modern science with big data, they are coming to their limits to make sense out of all these relations. Another not so exciting thing is to see what we are doing when we are applying the fertilizer to the soil, because then the richness of soil microorganisms goes down and there are only remaining a little few. So by doing this we are reducing the relation and the richness of the soil. Another aspect is you only care for what you know. We see here there is a lot of destruction in the country going on in terms of trees that are cut down. And I think partly is it because of lack of perspective, but then also there is a lack of knowledge of all these things that are there. We had one morning where birdwatch was coming here to Kasisi, and we were going out and we were spotting in one morning 65 different species of birds. And I thought we have to bring this knowledge to the little children at school, because what they know, they will protect. And I know that our provincial, he is doing the meditation of the voices of the birds in the morning. Not just to hear the voices, but also to know the birds who are making these sounds. So again, we are called back to the relation of everything. You are called to become good stewards, and I would like to tell you that is the most rewardful thing that you can achieve in your life. Farming is more than just a business. Farming is a way of life. And you have engaged in this way of life. So, as you are graduating, let me give thanks to a lot of people who have helped you on this way to come to this day. Before all, I would like to thank the team in Kasisi, which under the guidance of the program manager, Mr. Tembo, and also especially under the guidance of the program coordinator, Ms. Grace Kachemba, have made this possible. So let me name them in place of the whole team who has worked a lot to help you to achieve this. I would like also to express my gratitude to the UNSA team that guides and helps us on this journey to set up this diploma program. So we are ourselves still children, and we are appreciating a lot that you help us to grow as well. I would like also to thank our donors who have made this program also possible. There is Bread for the World, but then also Manos Unidas, which has helped us to build the laboratory and the library block. Sky, who has helped in making this graduation possible. But before all, I want also to express my gratitude towards the Canadian Jesuit International, which are present today. So they have helped KTC since its beginning. You might remember Brother Paul, who died 2 years ago, who was the founder of KTC and was the director for 47 years. And as he was a Canadian, he was strongly supported by CGI through all the years. In this diploma program, the bursaries, or some of the bursaries, and also the contributing to the building was done by them. So we really express our gratitude that you have made for some of the students this journey possible. I also wish to express my gratitude to the ministries who are working with us, to the other institutions who are helping us with so many knowledge building discussions and working together. Let me end here by wishing you God's blessing for your future endeavors as you are going out. You are going out as ambassadors of KTC, but also as ambassadors of agroecology as a large. As second year or second graduates, you are still pioneers who are bringing these methods into the wideness of this country. Do not forget, you are responsible for our planet, for our community, and before all, for yourself. May you achieve in everything what you are targeting for. Thank you very much.